I don't care if players metagame. I'm too busy running a game and usually having fun to worry if they're metagaming. Does it happen? Of course. Do I see them doing it? Of course. Sometimes does it annoy me? Yeah. But most of the time it's like, I don't care. Whatever. I don't care. I just want to play this game. So average damage. Can they metagame? Yes. Can they figure out how many hits they can take before they go down? Yes. But you know, there's this thing about average damage. Don't tell anybody I told you this. Let's just keep this between us. Average damage is average. So, if you say the average damage is 10 and you have 100 hit points and you know that you can take 10 hits before you go down, if instead of doing average damage, if you were to roll the dice over the course of 10 rolls of damage, what would you average out to be? Roughly 100, give or take a little bit. That's the thing about averages. They tend to average out that way. So I don't really care if they can tell how many times they're going to get hit. I use average damage almost always because it makes my life easier and it makes the combat run more smoothly. It makes the combat run just a little bit quicker. When I don't have to roll dice and count things up and add a modifier every single attack, it makes my turns go way faster. I'm doing less math, I'm doing less adding, and I'm doing more tactics. I'm doing more thinking. I'm taking this menial stuff of doing math and stuff every time I roll. I don't care about rolling dice. My dice collection is very small. I don't care about rolling dice. I don't have big bags full of dice that I'm hoarding, you know, like the plastic supply on the earth is gonna run out because I have so many dice. Like, rolling dice is part of the game. It's not like the most amazing, crazy part of the game that I have to like roll damage dice. Like, I just don't care. Like, just let me use average dice because the game is more smooth. Now, are there situations where it is recommended to not use average damage? I think there are. We had a discussion in one of my groups some time ago, maybe a year ago, and at least one of the players said that in boss fight scenarios, it would be preferable to not roll average damage because then you don't know what it's going to be each time and it varies, and then that makes it a little bit more suspenseful. It makes it more dramatic, and you're like, woo, man, it could be a little, it could be a lot, and it makes a boss fight better to not have average damage. And I thought that was an excellent point, and I agree with that. And so my recommendation, what I do is I use average damage for almost everything. When we get into boss fight scenarios, I usually will roll the dice. Not always. I can think of times that I haven't, and sometimes you forget because you're always using average damage and then you just keep doing it, even though you know that, oh, it's a boss fight, I should have rolled dice, but I didn't because I'm just habit, you know? So yes, there is a case to be made that rolling dice for damage can be better in certain situations. I think for the most part during the game, because of the way it smooths out combat and makes it easier on the Dungeon Master and just makes combat a little bit faster, I think that is an improvement, overall improvement, rather than Dungeon Master rolling for damage. Now, players, I think players are going to always want to roll their damage dice, and I support that. I have no problems with that. I will never force a player to use average damage. I've never suggested it. Players have never requested it. They just roll their damage dice. Not a big deal.
And don't forget, if you're a busy game master looking to reduce your prep time with 5th edition or Pathfinder 2 adventures, traps, puzzles, monsters, and other resources, consider becoming a DM Lair patron. Each month you'll get a new issue of Lair magazine filled with GM resources to help you run amazing games. And DM Lair patrons even get to play games with me. Click on the screen right here to become a patron, or right up here to watch another fine DM Lair video. And until next time, happy game mastering.